All right. I usually don't discuss pop culture and stuff like that because I think all this stuff is foolishness, or a majority of it. I think this is a situation where hopefully someone can learn from it. The Will Smith and Chris Rock thing. I think the problem is, as a black man, I think we're so individualized. Like, okay, well, I'm just do me, and it's not gonna affect anything. But if we as black men moved as a unit, where I understand that if I know what happens to me affects the brothers behind me, next to me. I think these brothers will move differently. If the brothers in the inner city don't know what emotional control is and letting things go and letting words just be words, you know, how can they look up to brothers like Will Smith, and this man is unhinged punching people on national TV. It's sad because I'm not a big Oscar fan, Grammy, whatever, whatever. But you know, I recorded it. I'm gonna watch it later, and you can count the brothers in the freaking audience. It's not like it's 10 brothers there. It's like six, and one of them the cameraman. So you already know they're tolerating us or a certain few of us based off what we can bring to them. It takes nothing for them to be like, you know what, we don't want you here no more. Will Smith is huge. He's not big enough to for them to say, oh yeah, you got a couple of deals on the table. You just punch somebody, yeah, we're gonna take that deal off the table for you. It makes no sense how he does not know that. He does not know that he cannot slap somebody on national TV. And I get it. He's in a tough position because he feel like he has to protect, not feel like he has to protect his wife's honor from jokes from different people, from people who are not on his level, and Chris Rock obviously is on his level, but from people who is on his level. But at the end of the day, these are jokes. The man is already winning. Your whole family is successful. Like as a black man in this industry, your whole family is successful. Whole family. You know how hard that is? Your kids not strung out on drugs. Your kids don't have a lot of issues. You don't have a lot of drama. The most someone gonna say is your wife's hairstyle. We have to just move as we have to understand that the next person behind me is going to be judged on my behavior. And I hate the fact that is. When a white man is driving drunk and does something, we don't say, well, that's all white man. When a white man throws his freaking wife out of freaking car and kills her, we don't say, oh, well, that's all white man. But as black men, we're painted all collectively. It's unfortunate. It is what it is. So we have to move, as a unit. We have to control our emotional currency. There's a lot of brothers sitting in jail, in prison right now because they not snapped. They couldn't just say, let me just walk away. Let me let that go. I come from a place where cats, you step on somebody's shoes and someone getting beat up. You spill a drink on somebody's shirt and someone getting beat up. So a joke like, yo, your wife is this, your wife is that. Like, that should have never been a thing. Number one. Number two, you have to leave comedians alone. People who make jokes for a living should be immune from like things like this. You look at D.L. Hughley and his going back and forth with different people. Pete Davidson. I follow Jimmy Kimmel. Like, these dudes, people who are comedically minded don't think normally. You can't explain it because it's not like, oh, well, oh, I know you are. What about me? Stuff like that, or your mama jokes. These are people who are going to say the worst thing to you and want you to react. And then once you react, I'm going to say something worse than that. They want to see you affected. So they don't think normally. It's not a mind that you would say, oh, well, you shouldn't talk about me. And I understand. Oh, I'm sorry I said that to you. No. Chris Rock is on tour. This man is on tour right now, and his hour special that he was working on, that push that to the side. I got another hour special, and now, since I can't talk about your wife, I'm going to talk about you. You have to know, he should have said, you know what, whatever. And Will Smith position, this is how these elite people play. This is how they play. Because, streets are guys, not just streets, but people who aren't making a lot of money. I might beat you up. I might get someone to beat you up. I might, talk about you on social media. This is how elite people play. Oh, I heard I heard Chris Rock, was trying out for this movie. Okay, okay. Yeah, I got 100,000 on this charity that you and your family represent. Yeah, I think you should find somebody else for that movie, and hang the phone up. So now Chris Rock ain't got no. You're like, yo, I just signed a deal. He's like, they got a call, man. We found another person. They finding somebody off the street to put in the movie because Will Smith was like, nah, he can't have that job. Or Chris Rock was hosting this next year. Will Smith was like, yeah, I think I can host a little better than him right now. That's how you play in that arena. You blackball people's money. We can name the people that have been blackballed or silenced of different freaking races and genders and all that stuff. But this is how you play. When you make it to that level, I don't have to beat you up. I'll make sure you don't eat. I'll make sure your wife don't eat. I'll make sure your kids don't eat. I affect things that way. That's how Will Smith should move. That's not how he should move. That is how he moves. You don't have to know these people that are making jokes about him are like, yeah, they're going to have a tough time making some money now. They're going to have a tough time getting out the house trying to promote their brand because they said a little sly joke. Now, I'm on the side of comedy. I think jokes should be jokes. I think you should be able to say whatever you want, discriminatory, whatever you want. It's a joke. That's how I think that. But I'm on that side of jokes are jokes and they should be taken as jokes. But Will Smith is in a tough position because he wants to protect his wife, but at the end of the day, he has to move like a man. And I don't care how much money you are. Jay said it the best. You're still a nigga, bro. Will Smith is still a black man. He has so much power and is losing it. He's unhinged right now. This man cannot continue to be out here fighting, arguing. You have to just be like, oh, that's the past. Every relationship goes through issues, whether it's publicly or privately. I would be like, yo, people talking about my wife, I don't care. He's more successful than collectively all the people that's talking about him and his wife. His kids are more successful than all these people that are talking about him and his wife. My wife, resume puts everybody in your family down. So what am I ain't got no complaints. If the most complaint you got is someone talking about your wife's hair, you got no problems. I mean, people want those problems. So they call my wife bald-headed. That's it? Okay, I'm good. So, but I really wish, we have, we don't talk about emotional currency and controlling your emotions, controlling your responses, as a collective, but specifically as a black man in different spaces. Not just when you're sober, but when you're high, when you're drunk, whatever, when you're feeling good. And I'll be honest. I'll tell this quick story. I was somewhere. I went somewhere a couple of months ago. Somebody owed me some money, and they were ducking me. They still owe me some money, thousands of dollars. And I took somebody with me, and I really just wanted to have a conversation, because I felt it was disrespectful that not only they didn't pay me, and they owed me, but their response to them owing me was kind of callous, kind of disrespectful. Oh, I'll pay you when I want to. Oh, well, I ain't got to pay you right now. Or, who are you? Oh, this not done or that's not done. And, I just, I said some choice words. They said some choice words. But, that was the most angry I got in years. I really tried to remove myself. And I'm so thankful that I have, my uncles and my father, black men who understand emotional currency. And I learned as a young kid, there's certain places I don't even go. If I know I have a problem with someone, I'm not going over there. I don't care if it's the best night. I don't care if I got 10 pictures I could take for the gram. I don't care if I'm missing out on $20,000. If I know I have an angry issue with you and I can't see you without punching you in the face, or you owe me $5,000 and you spending money, you having children, you dating around, I'm like, yo, you owe me money. Like serious cash. I just try to remove myself from that situation. But I came close to put my hands on somebody, and I haven't been that angry in probably 10 years, but I really tried to control my emotional currency. And as a black man, you have to do it because one arrest can ruin your life, derail your situation, your family situation. Will Smith has a lot on the line. And it takes nothing for a prosecutor to be like, oh yeah, Chris Rock's not pressing charges, but we don't need him. There's a whole bunch of look at cases where domestic violence. A lot of women, call the police and say, hey, my husband, my boyfriend, whatever, assaulted me, whatever, and they say, I dropped the charges. What? The cops like, we don't care. We don't need you. We got this on video. We have the text message. We have his confession. We have your marks. We have your medical records. We have enough to prosecute this case with you or without you. Now, switch that to this is on video. There's going to be a witness who wants to make some money. Be like, yeah, I'll testify. Why not? Yeah. Now, obviously, this is not going to be a felony case, but you don't know what's going to. You really think the police won't be like, yeah, I make $50,000, but if I prosecute Will Smith, I can go retire and write a book. I think I'm going to do that. You think the sheriff won't be like, oh, let me get a press conference. Two black men, this is how two black men at an award ceremony were fighting. That's what they're going to say. They're not going to say the two of the biggest Hollywood stars, one person punched somebody or slapped somebody, So, we have to control your emotional currency. And it takes time. And the older you get is harder because you have more responsibilities. As a single man, it's like, it's just me, right? But you have a wife, you got kids, you have more responsibilities when you grow in life. And when you grow in life, you have to protect more. And when you protect more, you have to understand I have more to lose. Will Smith has way more to lose punching someone over a joke. Now, I get it. I ain't mad at him for being upset. I'm mad at his response. I'm not mad at Chris Rock for saying a joke because that's Chris Rock's role. But also, as a writer, this is how these award shows goes. There's a room of writers. There's a room of comedy writers. Some of these people are not even comedy writers. These are tongue-in-cheek jokes. Oh, who shot John? This is chicken cross the road jokes. These are these type of jokes. These are not jokes that you hear in a 12 midnight comedy club in a basement of a grocery store. These are not those type of jokes where they're sexist, homophobic, racist, whatever you want to call, anti-Semitic, whatever. These are not those type of jokes. These are ran by a group of people that says we are not going to offend these 10 groups. And they make sure that doesn't happen. They don't make jokes about the war. They don't make jokes about political stuff that are, leaning one way to another. They might say, a gas price joke here and there. They might say, a Trump joke or a Biden's old joke, stuff like that. Or we got two old guys fighting, stuff like that, where it's kind of neutral. They're not saying anything crazy. So while I didn't have a problem with the joke, I also, understand that it's a joke. The award show is not a part where he would be calling his wife out of her name. This would be not a situation where he would be disrespectful. Now, Will Smith, telling Chris Rock is on tour. These other comedians stay together. They stick together. Wanda Sykes, a comedian, she's outside. She's also working on stuff. There's going to be Will Smith jokes for the next 6 months. And then as these writers and comedians work on this material is not going to come out until later this year, maybe early next year when these specials get picked up from, Showtime, HBO, Netflix. He's going to have a tough 6 months because he has stuff he has to promote. So when you have to promote, you think these late night shows are going to say, well, let's not bring up you punching somebody and let's not bring up their response to this joke or to your reaction. It's going to be a tough couple of months emotionally and mentally as a man because of your reaction, you caused a trickle effect of what all this could be. It's crazy. Now, I'm going to tell you why Will Smith is in this position. Will Smith is in this position because they decided to respond to August Alsina. When you a big dog, certain things you just shouldn't respond to. I don't care if social media goes off. I don't care if I got something to promote. I'm an R&B guy, so I think August Alsina is amazing. But August Alsina should not be affecting anything Will Smith or his wife Jada Pinkett Smith is doing or saying. they could have said, "Oh," he said, "What?" Oh, okay, and left it at that because it's no disrespect, but it's August Alsina. This is an R&B singer who most people don't even know makes solid music. People talking about how he looked good and how he has some issues with his family and he take care of his nieces and nephews. That's all people know about him. That's it. He's not even your top 20 R&B male person that you would think of in the last 5 years. You're like, oh, August. Oh yeah, he came out. He couple of albums, couple of EPs. People don't know that. So we have to understand the way you respond to things. Sometimes the way the internet goes, it's 24 hours. You let that sucker rock, something else gonna happen. You ain't gotta say nothing. And in these interviews, like, how do you feel about August Alsina? I'm like, who? Well, we see you pictures in vacation. Like, yeah, I wish everybody well. That's how you respond to stuff like that. Because he was doing something to promote the show, when they did the Red Table Talk. So you think, oh, well, this is our response. And this also helps us build our brand and build our show. Then it turned on you. It turned to a whole bunch of jokes that you didn't expect. It turned into a whole bunch of disrespect that you didn't expect. Now, you got to respond to it. So, control your emotional currency. 1, 2, learn when not to respond. Not responding is the strongest thing you ever have to do. It's not responding. Say nothing. Be like, oh, word, they said that. I got nothing to say. I wish them well. Peace.